The sun dipped low over the dusty streets of Willow Ridge, a forgotten speck on the map of rural Texas, where pickup trucks outnumbered people and secrets festered like open wounds. Jake Harlan, a grizzled ex-cop turned private investigator at 45, pulled his battered Ford into the lot outside Graves' hardware store. He'd come chasing a lead on a stolen truck ring, but what stopped him cold was the sharp smack echoing from inside like a belt cracking against skin. Through the grimy window, he saw a burly man in overalls swing at a young woman behind the counter. She didn't flinch or cry. She just straightened up, eyes fierce, like she'd stared down worse storms. That look hit Jake like a gut punch. It dragged him back to 8 years ago in Dallas, when he'd buried his wife, Lisa, and their son, Tommy, after a botched robbery he'd been too busy chasing leads to prevent. He'd sworn off meddling in strangers' messes since then. But as her gaze locked on his through the glass defiant, unbroken after God, knows how Longha knew walking away wasn't an option. This wasn't just another case. It was a chance to right a wrong he'd carried like a scar. Inside, Mia Running Brook, 22, and of Navajo descent, swept up shards of a broken paint can with the precision of someone who'd learned the hard way that clumsiness invited pain. 3 years she'd been stuck here, indentured to Harlan Graves after borrowing money for her aunt's cancer meds. What started as a desperate loan had ballooned into endless abuse, hidden behind the town's blind eye. Graves spat, "You worthless drifter, that can's coming out of your pay $50 a week till it's square." Mia bit her tongue, her silver pendanta family heirloom from her grandmother glinting under the fluorescent lights. Silence was her armor. Jake pushed through the door, his boots thudding on the linoleum. At 6'2", with a frame honed by years on the force, he commanded the room without a word. "Got a problem here?" His voice was low, edged with the authority of a man who'd worn a badge too long. Graves lowered his fist, smirking. "None of your business, stranger. Just disciplining my help." Jake's eyes flicked to Mia's split lip, then back. "Help? Looks more like assault to me." Graves puffed up. "She owes me started at $200 for her kin's pills. Now it's $5 with interest. She's mine till it's paid." The lie hung thick, but Jake knew the game. Small-town sharks preying on the vulnerable, especially those with a wrong heritage. That night, nursing a beer at the Rusty Nail Bar, Jake heard the ugly truth from Betty Lou, the barmaid widow who'd seen it all. That girl's been Graves' punching bag for years. Sheriffs in his pocket half the town scared or bought off. She's Navajo, alone, no family nearby. Folks pretend it's not their fight. The words ignited a rage in Jake. Why did good people look away? It mirrored his own failure with Lisa, who'd begged him to quit the job before it killed them all. He couldn't save her, but damn if he'd let history repeat. Digging deeper, Jake tailed a tip to Graves' back lot, uncovering not just abuse but a chop shop for stolen vehicles, Graves fencing parts for quick cash, protected by payoffs to local cops. The corruption ran deep, fueling Jake's fury. How many lives ruined while the town sipped coffee and ignored the screams? High noon the next day, because some showdowns demanded daylight, Jake stormed back in, dragging a cuffed suspect from the truck ring tied to Graves' operation. "Heard about your employee. I'm buying out her debt." Graves laughed, hand inching toward a hidden shotgun. "She ain't for sale." Jake's grin was ice. Everything's got a price, gash, or consequences. A crowd gathered outside, whispering, too cowardly to intervene, but eager for drama. Mia, trembling but resolute, stepped forward with a utility knife she'd sharpened in secret. "I'm no one's property," she declared, voice steady despite the bruises. The blade hovered, a symbol of her pent-up rage. Graves backed up, sweating. "You crazy? Put that down." But Mia's eyes blazed. "Foolish was trusting you'd honor a fair deal. This ends now." The standoff crackled with tension. Would she strike? Would Jake pull his concealed carry? The crowd held its breath, the air thick with the injustice that had simmered for years. Jake diffused it with facts. Debt peonage is illegal under federal law since the 30s. Your contract is trash. He'd tipped off the FBI anonymously. Sirens wailed in the distance. Graves folded, coughing up back wages $300 under the sheriff's sudden scrutiny. Free at last, Mia rode shotgun in Jake's truck as they fled Willow Ridge toward the hills, the rearview mirror shrinking the toxic town. The drive was silent at first, the Texas landscape blurring past endless fields, oil rigs nodding like weary giants. But as dusk fell, barriers cracked. "Why help me?" Mia asked, her voice soft over the hum of tires. Jake gripped the wheel. "Because I lost my family chasing shadows. Lisa was like you, strong, unbowed. I wasn't there when they needed me. Today, I chose differently." Mia shared her scars. Orphaned young, lured into Graves' trap by desperation, enduring beatings that tested her spirit. Their stories intertwined, sparking a connection raw and real. By campfire under starry skies, vulnerability turned to passion. Mia moved to him, not from debt but desire, their embrace fierce yet tender, a reclaiming of trust amid shared pain. But dawn brought reality. Mia's Navajo roots called her to the Wind River Reservation in Wyoming, where kin awaited. Arriving, tensions flared. Eli Blackhawk, Mia's childhood sweetheart, eyed Jake warily. "Did this outsider buy your freedom like livestock?" The elders grilled Jake in the community hall. "You've hunted our kind before?" Jake stood firm. "I enforced law, not prejudice. Never harmed innocents." But cultural clashes boiled debates over assimilation, white saviors, native resilience. Mia defended him, but doubts lingered. Was Jake's help genuine or another form of control? Given 3 days, Jake proved his worth, respecting traditions, sharing stories without imposing. Yet Mia needed space. 3 years broke me. I must heal alone, rediscover my strength not as your rescue. Jake's heart ached, but he nodded. "If it's real, it'll wait." He left, buying a modest ranch in Montana rolling hills, a fixer-upper house with mountain views. 6 months passed. Jake's letter arrived. No pleas, just updates on his new life, raising cattle, an open invite. Mia pondered, wrestling inner demons. The abuse had left scars, trust issues, anger at a system that failed her people. But Jake's patience went out. Spring bloomed, and Mia rode to Montana. "I found myself," she said at his door, "and I choose us." They build a life, together marriage, under reservation rights, blending worlds. Graves faced prison for his crimes. Willow Ridge reformed, shamed into change. Jake shed his ghosts, Mia her chains. Love, hard won, proved unbreakable. What do you think? Should folks like Jake always step in, or is it risking more harm? Share your take in the comments below. Stand your ground and let me know your views.